Okay, hello everyone. At this part, we're going to do the global address binding experiment. And about this experiment, let's see the background first. The company requires fixed terminals for network access, while other terminals are prohibited from accessing the network. As the location of the terminal is uncertain, it's essential to prevent unauthorized access while allowing authorized terminals to access the network through any interfaces on the CM access switch. The network administrator plans to utilize global address binding technology to fulfill these requirements. And we hope that after finishing this lab, you will master the usage scenario of this technology and you can master the configuration and static check commands of this technology. The topology is quite easy. We have two switches, SW1, SW2. SW2 acts as the access switch, which is connected with two PCs, PC1, PC2, which have their IP address 192.168.101 and 192.168.100. The requirement of this lab is that SW1 is a core switch, serves as the gateway with the address SVI 192.168.1.254. SW2 is the access switch, provides access services from authorized PCs. PC1 is an authorized device with the IP address of 192.168.101, and the MAC is shown here. But if you use different terminals, actually the MAC address could be different. With the use of global address binding, PC1 can access a network through any interface on SW2, while PC2 is an unauthorized device with the IP address of 192.168.1.100 and the MAC address, which could be different. And it cannot access a network through this switch. When an unauthorized terminal gains access to the network, the device creates a long-forward global address binding detection, helps with retrieving security events. So to satisfy these requirements, let's see the configuration plan. Complete the basic configuration include the VLAN, SVI on the core switch, and interface VLAN on the access switch. Configure global address binding, enabling logging of global secure address binding. So let's do it. First, we should configure the IP address for both PC1 and PC2. So for PC1, let's do it. IP 192.168.101, 255.255.0, 192.168.1.254. This is the IP address, the mask, and the gateway address. Here you can see it succeeds. And on PC2 is the same. IP 192.168.1.100 mask. The gateway is 192.168.1.254. Okay, after finishing this, next is the configuration on these two switches. Let's see what we should do. First is the configuration of VLAN. So we should create here. What we use is VLAN 10. And interface G00, which is connected with switch 2, switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed within only 10. So only within 10 is allowed. And for this within interface within 10, we should create an SVI interface because it acts as the gateways. So we should configure the IP address to be 192.168.1.100, sorry, .254. 24. Okay, this is on switch 1, and switch 2 is similar. Create within 10 first, right? And interface G00, switch port mode access within 10. or we can just, as you can see here, you can just add it to VLAN 10 in the VLAN configuration view. It's the same, just like this. VLAN 10 add interface G01. The function is similar. Okay, and for the interface G02, since it's connected with S1, so it's a trunk port, so switch port mode, trunk, switch port, trunk, allow VLAN only 10. Okay, this is about the basic configuration of VLAN on both our S1 and S2. Next is about the configuration of the address binding. Since it's configured on access switch, so we should do that on SW2. Address binding 192.168.101. Next is the MAC address. So here we should check the MAC address of the PC1. Okay, to check the MAC address, we can use the command show IP. You can see the MAC address is here, and we can copy it. Okay, this is about the MAC address. And the next command, address bind uplink G02. This is the interface that will not be limited, right? And the address binding filter logging. Logging means that if the packet is filtered, it will generate a log, which is one of the requirements of this experiment. And address bind install. So it will be enabled on the interfaces. After finishing the configuration, next, let's verify the results. Firstly, we should try to ping the gateway 192.168.1.254 from PC1. You can see it's reachable, right? Because we have received the reply from the gateway. While from PC2, let's try. Ping 192.168.1.254, ping the gateway. As you can see here, it's timeout. Timeout means it's unreachable from PC2. The reason is that the packet from PC2 is filtered by the switch. So let's see if it's filtered or not. You can see here is a log. You can see filtered IP packet from user with IP 192.168.1.100 is filtered on the interface G01. Okay, since we have pinged for twice, so here are two logs. From here, we can know that the global address binding has taken effect and filtered the packets from PC2, which is not allowed to access the network, and it takes effect. Then run the command show address binding and the show address binding uplink command to view the current global address binding entries. So let's do it. Show address bind. You can see we have created one entry, and show address bind uplink. You can see that this interface G02 is the uplink we have enabled. Okay, this is about the configuration of global address binding. And about this experiment, the key point is shown here. The two active global secure address binding entry run the address bind install to activate. Exceptional interfaces are required to ensure proper connectivity between the terminal and the gateway. Typically, the uplink port is designated as an exceptional interface. This is about the configuration of these parts.